This by far is a very important Dogecoin video regarding the recent price surge that we have seen, with Dogecoin rising over 25% and upwards of 30% during the day. Now, this is very important because we do have an infrastructure deal regarding cryptocurrency that could make or break Dogecoin, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. And Cathie Woods has a very clear explanation on this infrastructure deal, which could place a tax on cryptocurrency so that they can be able to get the funds necessary needed for a $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill that will seek to clarify tax reporting requirements for cryptocurrency. We're also going to cover the main reasons as to why Dogecoin has surged over 30% within the past 24 hours, as we can see, and also whether or not it will continue this bull run. Can Dogecoin go back to that 75-cent level? So make sure you guys stay until the end of this video because there is a lot to cover on Dogecoin and the recent surge in price.
Our legislators could, with an act like this, chase away technology from our shores. Already, the U.S. has had a terrible reputation in terms of regulation around crypto assets, partly because there are so many regulators and they don't agree with one another on even what these crypto assets are. We believe they're a new asset class, but I think our regulators have been trying to put them into an existing asset class and treat them accordingly. We are hoping that they will be getting a lot of pushback. In fact, we are hearing they're getting a lot of pushback with voicemail. Who uses voicemail anymore? But voicemail apparently for many policymakers full. It's activated a lot of the crypto community and a lot of the innovation community because we don't want to chase innovation away from our shores. And I think that if we were to frame this and say, and I'll quote John Lilly, who was on our brainstorm today, if we were to frame this and say, this would be a lot like regulating and taxing the internet in the early 90s, before it was really a gleam in the eye of many businesses. That would have been a very bad idea because the internet has been very good for the U.S., for innovation in the U.S., and has added a lot to our productivity and to the productivity of the world. But I think in terms of capital markets, the U.S. really capitalized on the internet. Well, cryptocurrencies and much of DeFi is effectively unfinished business from the early 90s, and actually even earlier than that, when DARPA created the internet. No one at that time dreamed that the internet would have anything to do with commerce, because it was for academicians, it was for intelligence agencies, for other government agencies, and it was never intended for commercial activity. Well, that was a miscalculation, and as a result, we never built into the internet a payment system. And we have a chance now to do that and add even more to the productivity of our economy and the global economy. And so, cryptocurrencies we've described as really money over IP. And we likened it in the old days to voice over IP to help people understand. At one point, and this would have been in my life, I never dreamed that I would be able to make telephone calls for free, and it changed my life. My children can't ever imagine ever paying for a phone call. So, and we think that costs are going to come down and benefit the entire economy, the global economy, and that trying to shut it down now would be a very bad thing. And I would say that our regulators then would be blamed as innovation moves to other countries, would be blamed for preventing the U.S. from enjoying the next big thing. So I know that there's a Wyden amendment that is trying to address some of the problems that have cropped up. And so we're definitely following that and hoping that it will succeed.
So as we can see from this interview, Cathie Woods essentially stated that cryptocurrency is a lot like the internet when it was first coming around. But the problem with the internet back in the 1990s is that a digital payment system was never really introduced like we have seen with cryptocurrency. And the government was actually able to make a lot of money off of the internet. So to hinder the capabilities that cryptocurrency has would essentially be a disservice, because it is a lot like the internet revolution that we saw in the 1990s, and there's a lot of great potential in cryptocurrency. So this infrastructure bill really does have the power to hinder the capabilities of cryptocurrency depending on what occurs in the future. That's why I do encourage everyone to vote on this cryptocurrency bill to make sure that your vote is counted and your voice is also heard. But other than that, we have seen that the cryptocurrency market has gone up a lot within the recent days. Bitcoin is back at $44,000 and Ethereum is back at $3,144. So Ethereum has been going up a lot. Now Dogecoin has been a bit slow in this race and it is now trading at 26 cents. However, I do believe that Dogecoin is just seeing the start of its bull run once again. We can see that it has gone up 24%, and this is within the past 24 hours alone. So imagine where Dogecoin could be a week from now. We know that when Dogecoin goes up, it does go up very quickly. And I wouldn't be surprised a week from now if we do see Dogecoin at that 50-cent level or even 75 cents. So we could see another price rally for Dogecoin, especially after making a huge move like this, going up 24% in a single day. This bearish phase that Dogecoin has been consolidated in around the 20-cent level is surely coming to an end after seeing a huge price increase like this. We can see that Dogecoin has been in a constant decline in price, and now it is beginning to see another return. So this next week for Dogecoin is going to be very important because we could see huge moves come into play. And one of the main reasons why Dogecoin did have this huge breakout in price is because it was trapped in a tight range, and we finally had some good press that was able to push it out of this 50-day moving average. But it was more of a combination of things occurring at once, with the recent price rally that we have seen with Ethereum and Bitcoin, and people beginning to invest their money back into cryptocurrencies. All of these things combined, along with the Dogecoin wiener craze, which is essentially Oscar Mayer stating on their Twitter that they will be having a limited edition pack of hot Dogecoin wieners at a cash value of 10,000 Dogecoins. And not only that, but we did have the Twitter CEO, Jack Dorsey, hinting at Dogecoin. So essentially all he stated was wow. And then Elon Musk responded with DM Twitter. So if you guys didn't already know, this is definitely a Dogecoin reference. We know much wow and wow is used a lot in the Dogecoin community. So this tweet definitely played a role in boosting the price of Dogecoin. But the main reason as to why Dogecoin did see this recent price rally is because of the increase in price that we did see with Ethereum and Bitcoin. And with the combination of recent news that has come out for Dogecoin, it was essentially able to propel it forward and help it break out of that 50-day moving average and propel it to new heights. So before we continue any further with this video, we do have a very important interview from Chamath Palihapitiya and what he has to include regarding the infrastructure deal regarding cryptocurrencies and the taxes that they will impose on it.
It's too visible. Like the way that it would have happened in the first 2 or 3 years.
Or the argument could be made the opposite, that now it's so valuable that it's worth investing to figure out
It's a bigger
how
target.
to... Yeah.
It's not a choice that they have.
You sure?
So, yeah. There's nothing they can do.
What about the law and guns and jail and tax?
I don't know what that means. There's nothing that there was nothing that they could do to stop it before. There's nothing that they can do to stop it now.
Well, you can't get the New York Times in China, and you can't practice religion there. So they have a pretty easy system. They put you in jail. If they want to stop Bitcoin, they could just put you in jail.
How?
By finding out that you have Bitcoin. And
How?
Because they have 100% view into the internet there. They have
How?
because they have routers. That's how they capture all the Uyghurs, is they know their location because they have mobile phones, and when they use Signal or any other encrypted technology, they catch them.
No, I don't think that's how it works. But
That's how they catch all the dissidents there, is they have them. And they also have Apple's entire data center is controlled by the Chinese government.
There's no ledger somewhere that says this specific wallet address equals David Sachs, and there's not going to be one anytime soon. And so you'll have these centralized wallet authorities that actually, have a lot of account information. But the reality is the sophisticated actors, use tumblers. They wash sort of like their paths in a way where it's very difficult to figure out who these people are. Now, if you use a site that doesn't have KYC, that's always going to be the case. And, people with huge amounts of Bitcoin are sophisticated enough to know how to stay anonymous if they want to. For everybody else who doesn't care, because for them it's sort of an investment asset class and a hedge, then they're not going to care either. And the point is, when enough people own it, governments aren't in a position. The track record of them just waking up one day and pulling the plug on anything is zero. That's not how people do things. You have to have like centralized policy and support. And I don't see it one way or the other. Of all the things that China and the United States will face over the next 30 or 40 years, this is like 50th on the list.
So as we can see, Chamath Palihapitiya definitely disagrees that it will be very hard to regulate cryptocurrency, particularly Bitcoin. And as a result, maybe this infrastructure deal will not have much of an effect on cryptocurrency in general, which would explain why the cryptocurrency market is still going up, even with this infrastructure deal that can impose taxes on cryptocurrency to get the funding necessary to have this go through. Regulating cryptocurrency is not necessarily going to be the easiest thing in the world, because there's a lot of fundamentals in place in Bitcoin that foreshadow this occurring in the future. So as a result, we could see the cryptocurrency market continue to explode, even with the government trying to regulate it. So we can definitely see that there's a lot of mixed views regarding this infrastructure deal. In my opinion, I do think that Dogecoin will continue to explode in price, at least for the foreseeable future. And I think a week from now, we can definitely see a 75-cent Dogecoin once again. This infrastructure deal is not something that's going to happen overnight, and the government will not be able to regulate cryptocurrencies overnight either. This is something that will take a long time to occur, and possibly may never even happen because of how secure it is. So if you guys did enjoy this video, all I ask is that you drop a like and subscribe to the channel since you made it all the way to the end. And while you're at it, you might as well get 2 free Webull stocks worth up to $1,600 that you can always trade in for Dogecoin, since Dogecoin is trading on Webull, by pressing the link in my bio. Thank you for watching this video. As always, until next time.